you have an amazing memes, ideas, edits you can build on top of it, right? But ever anyone has built any kind of Python agent, Java agent using any coding language? Just want to understand that. Okay. Lakshina says not built. It's fine, perfectly fine. Don't know what AI agents are. That's perfectly fine. We are here to discuss that. Okay. Agent development kit. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I will. Okay. Using LLM, it can perform various tasks like simple tasks to autonomous tasks. Perfect. Fine. Okay. And if anyone don't know what LLM is, it's large language models. Okay. It is used to think. For example, if you go to Gemini and just type create image, okay, of something, okay, and it will actually how it will basically do the things in the background. It will use some LLM. So LLMs are large language model. You can use Gemini, you can use GPT, you can use any models, okay, that are in the market, yeah, LLM. So yeah, I mean, I got some answers. So basically, AI agents are nothing but it is a system that uses an LLM to reason, to create a plan, and to add and execute and iterate on the plan with the help of some tools. Okay, tools are nothing but your functions. So basically, AI agent is a wrapper of your Python code or Java code which you writes. Okay, so basically, whenever an AI agent run, it basically calls a function, and function is nothing but a code inside that. So AI agent is nothing but a wrapper of your code, okay, that gets executed, and it thinks and reasons, and then it will give you output. Okay, that's how the AI agent works in the background. So starting. Okay, so ADK start. I mean, the full form is from the name agent development and kit. It is a kind of framework which is created by Google. Okay, so basically, it has many features. Like for example, if you want to create a weather application, I mean, my use case is, let's say today I am at my home and I want to go to my office. I want to go to my college. Okay, I want to create an AI agent that will be a commute planner for my AI agent. For example, I say can so basically what we'll be needing, right, to create an AI agent. First thing is weather API, because we have to build an agent that will help me to choose the best commute options. Like commute options might be, let's say, by train you can go to office, by let's say bus you can go office, by cab you can go office. Okay, so to determine what kind of weather it is, for example, if it is a rainy season, you won't be going to office by bike, right, until unless you have a raincoat. Okay, and let's say you can't go by bus, for example, if it's like, it's very traffic or something. So you have to see, I mean, which is the best option available for you. How you will be knowing that? Of some APIs. For example, I'm getting Google Map API to determine which is the best. Let's say weather API I will be needing. What is the weather? According to weather, I will decide which vehicle I want to go to. I want to select to go to office, right? So this kind of particular APIs we have to build, and we have to integrate that with AI agent, so that our AI agent should be well enough to think according to weather, which is the best commute option you can choose from. Okay, so this kind of modularity, this kind of thinking is embedded inside this agent development kit. So you can see this is optimized for Gemini and Google ecosystem. Model agnostic. So the meaning of the word agnostic, it can fit it everywhere. You can deploy ADK with AWS. We can deploy ADK with GCP. We can deploy ADK with Azure as well. Okay, and this deployment agnostic. It means, again, a deployment means we can uh, do the deployment anywhere. Like anyone had heard about serverless here, like serverless or virtual machines or Google Kubernetes engine? If no, I mean, like you can first create your agent and test it on your local machine, then plan it to deploy with any cloud environments like GCP, AWS. So in GCP we have Google Kubernetes engine. That is, it's kind of you have a cluster, and then you can containerize your code, and then you can put it there. And we have serverless option as well, like cloud run and all. We'll explain it further. Okay, and then we can have some, you can see this enables developers to create AI agents, deploy on local, cloud run, and GKE. Okay, so this is kind of framework of, just like you have Java framework like Spring Boot. Okay, Node.js we have for JavaScript. Okay, we have agent framework that is called agent development kit. Okay, it has all lot of stuff you can deal with, and you can create your AI agent. Okay, So I think till here you can got a very high level overview that what we are going ahead. Okay. So we have right now supports for three languages for ADK. One is Python, one is Java, and another one is Go. Okay, Go just recently added 1 week back. Okay, so you can create your AI agents in three languages in using ADK. First one is Python. You can just do is pip install Google ADK. It will download all your packages of Google ADK, and then you can go ahead with it. Okay. And if you're using Java, we have this pom.xml. You can embed this version and you can just add Google ADK on top of it. Okay. And I have not added that Go language because it's just recently added. You just have it. Okay. This is the core agent categories. So basically, you can see this base agent, right? So basically, this is a base agent. Base agent is nothing but a root folder. You have your local machine, you have a root folder inside that, and then we have sub agents, right? Just similar, imagine this kind of stuff. So basically, your first will be a base agent. So if you are using any multi-agent kind of thing, for example, I've told you you have building a AI agent that is a a commute agent. So for that you require a weather, let's say weather agent. You require a calendar API. Let's say many APIs, right? So you will be having multi-agent kind of thing. So we will be creating an agent that will be calling to multiple agents. Okay, so you can see reasoning is there, tools are there. Okay, there are many for workflow agents as well, like sequential agent you want, and let's say you want some agent that can be do the things parallelly. Okay, so we have parallel agents for that. And if you want to kind of do looping, okay, just like recursion, we have loop agent as well. And if you don't want this category, we have this custom logic as well. Like you can frame your AI agent, you can create your own AI agent using custom agents. Okay, so this is the kind of very core agent categories. Okay, so if I talk about LLM agents, it is used for reasoning, planning, and tool use. Okay, this is ideal for flexible driven tasks. Okay, then we have workflow agents, like I have mentioned. We can create your agents using sequential method, parallel method, and looping. Okay, so this is the preferable method of workflow agents. And then we have custom agents. You can structureize your agents in such a way that you can modify according to your use case. Okay, so building an AI agent strategy. So before creating an AI agent, you have a plan, right? Why? What is the purpose of my agent? So first you will be defining a goal and the scope. Like why I want to create a particular agent. What is the use case of it? Okay. And then you will be designing, you will be giving some instructions. This is the particular thing that I want to build. And on top of it, it will build the agents and tools. Okay. Then we have configure and connect. Okay, so it means that we have to configure it and connect it. And then after, because you will be writing a code to create an AI agent, right? So first you will be running your agents locally, testing it with various edge cases, and checking, and we will check that whether my AI agent is performing a particular task locally or not before deploying. Okay, and this is the most important thing, evaluate. Just like you test your code in your local machine, right? We have to test the code of AI agent, that it's particular evaluating or iterating or not. Let's say ये बराबर चल भी रहा है कि नहीं, right? We have to check it, okay, using some evaluator interaction mode, and then we have to deploy it somewhere so that it can be available for end users. Okay, like for example, you will be getting a URL whenever you'll be deploying your AI agents, right? So this is the last phase. First thing is planning, then designing the AI agent, then building it, configuring it, connecting it with multiple third-party resources, and then running it, and then evaluating it, and then finally deploying it. Okay, this is the kind of AI strategy of the agents. Okay, then coming to the whole ADK ecosystem. So you can see the models. Okay, so we'll be dealing with models first. I mean, we'll be selecting Gemini 2.5 Pro, 1.5 Flash, or any kind of stuff. Okay, then we'll be tracing. Tracing is very important to see how my AI agent is behaving. Okay, whether I'm getting 200 response, whether I'm getting 500 response, and the cost, right? On each API call, what is the cost associated with it? And if there is any issue, we have to debug it further. Okay, and then we have agents, tools, orchestration, callbacks, deployment. This is kind of whole kit. Okay, because you remember whenever you go to Gemini or let's say ChatGPT, you have your old history, chat history, so it remembers the memory, right? That is called the memory of the function. Then code execution, it's the background process. Okay, artifact management, like like there are some limits in AI agent that after this particular period, it says that please come after 24 hours, right? Okay, so it is like artifact management. So basically, if your memory is full, you have to manage the memory and artifacts as well, right? And this is the most important thing which is trending nowadays, that is bidirectional streaming. So I'm speaking, my voice is getting translated to text. Okay, this is called bidirectional streaming. It is useful for, like kind of we are talking on the Zoom or any, let's say, WebEx or something, right? So how the things are behaving in the background, it uses WebSockets kind of thing. So bidirectional streaming is very important for that. Session management is another thing, orchestration and tools. So this is a very important thing. Whenever you are designing an AI agent, just you have to think how we can do that. Okay. So where to deploy our agents? So we can see Vertex AI agent engine is there. We have Cloud Run, we have GKE. So there are many options. So you have to choose which is best for your use case. Okay. If you want any serverless kind of thing, you can go with Cloud Run. If you want any node kind of thing, container Kubernetes kind of thing, you can deploy AI agents to GKE. You have more control on the security part. If you don't want anything, you can go with SaaS Vertex AI agent engine. You have to just do true or false. Okay. And then coming to the features of ADK, as I've already discussed previously, that it is vendor agnostic, it is deployment agnostic. Okay, so we have reach tool integration. First thing is it utilizes pre-built tools like custom functions, open APIs, and integrate existing tools to give this particular stuff. Okay, then we have code first development. We can define the agent logic, tools, and then you can choose any languages you want to create the code. Okay, and then we can design applications by composing specialized agent into flexible hierarchies. Like modularity is a main part whenever you're designing any kind of stuff. And then after doing this particular stuff, that you have written your code, you have tested your code, and you are ready to deploy it, right? So you can deploy your AI agent code using Cloud Run, GKE, or let's say Vertex AI agent engine. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff. And now coming to MCP. Okay, so what is MCP? Why MCP? What problems it solves? What are its benefits? And what are the real world use cases? Because why everyone is talking about it, right? So you guys have studied OSI model. You have studied TCP/IP model in your college days, third year, fourth year, right? Everyone studies it. So what OSI layer says? OSI layer says I will operate on layer 7. TCP/IP model says that I will operate on layer 4. Okay, and this is also a protocol which is for AI agent. Okay, it is basically working on layer 4, transport layer. Okay, so basically it interact with your code. It have the context. Model is your AI model. Okay, context is your current context. Like for example, my local machine current directory is my context, for example, and protocol is a layer 4 protocol. I mean, it works on the network layer. Okay, and why MCP? So basically, previous days, if I want to create an AI agent, I want to integrate many APIs into my code to reach to that. For example, let's say if I want to, again, I will take the same example. Like for example, I want to build an e-commerce website. Okay, what the things I require? First thing is customer information. I will require some payment information. Okay, I require grocery store information. I require, let's say, add to cart information. So this kind of APIs I need to consume. Or let's say I want to integrate payment system to my code. I want to use Razor Pay API. Okay. I want something which is you can grasp the location of that customer. I need a Google Map API. Okay. So this API I need to call multiple times for, let's say, in future another thing I require. Okay. So I need to integrate that API as well into my code. Okay, so let's say if my use case is like integrating 100 systems, I need to call 100 APIs together in my code. That will create the latency. That will, increase the load time of that users, right? So to solve this particular stuff, MCP comes in. So MCP, what it says, I will be basically you will be writing particular code, okay, in any language like JavaScript or something, and then you will be exposing that particular APIs into one code, and then using one MCP protocol, you can call multiple third-party APIs. Okay. So the benefits of this, so you can see the slide, right? What are the benefits? So benefit is number of iteration got reduced. You don't have to call your API 1,000 times. Just integrate your code into one code, and then MCP can handle all the stuff. Okay. What are the real world use cases? What if I say to my MCP that, hey MCP, create a GitHub repository? Because The time has gone that you go to github.com, click on create repository, and it will create the GitHub repository. What if through cloud, let's say CLAUDE, cloud, right? I will say create a GitHub repository of this particular name. Okay, it will go and actually do the stuff and say me that yeah, I can create a GitHub repository. Okay, how it is possible? Using, because many companies have their MCP server. I will show you afterwards. Okay, so how you can consume it, how you can do that stuff. Okay, many companies have their own MCP servers, and because you can even order pizza from your laptop. I will say, can you give me? I want to eat, let's say, dosa. Okay, my favorite is ghee karam podi dosa. I will say, let's say, I want to just go to just for search for nearby restaurants. Okay, like for example, Rameshwaram, let's say Nanaya. Okay, let's say any let's say UDP. Okay, it will search the nearby restaurant, order a pizza on behalf of me, and it will get it delivered within 15 to 20 minutes. That's the power of MCP. You don't have to go and just click on anything, because it is just like a prompt driven kind of thing. You just type the thing, it will go in the background and it will show you the results. Okay, that's how the industry is evolving nowadays. Okay, why everyone is talking about it? Because it is very easy to integrate. You can I mean, I don't know, you guys are using stock market or not. For example, let's say I want to see what is the current price of the stock using my CLI. It will go and fetch the results automatically and give you the back results on your terminal. Okay, that's the power of MCP. Okay, and it's so exactly coming to the definition. Okay, the standard protocol that lets AI models like Gemini or GPT connect seamlessly to your external tools like APIs and data sources securely and context aware. Okay, so this is the thing which was before MCP and after MCP. So see this GitHub. If I want to connect to GitHub, I want a REST API of GitHub. If I want to create, let's say I want to add a MindsDB, I want to add Slack. I need another things for that. Okay, so these are the things who show the industry. Okay, and then we have if I talk about after MCP, what it was like, it is a particular models, model 1, model 2, model 3. Now what happens? Before, we have to call each and every API. See, first model will call GitHub. Again, you need to call MindDB. Again, you need to call I mean Slack. Okay. Now what happened? MCP comes in. It says that do one thing: integrate all those things into one, and then you can call it me in one shot. Okay, so the minimum MTN has reduced to 6 connections. Before, it was 9 connections, so the iteration got reduced. Okay, so there are many benefits of it, and you can think of like a seaport for your all AI apps. Okay, you can, if you have MCP, you can connect Google Drive and say what are the largest size of the, because let's say, because we are clicking pictures every day, right? And we are storing our pictures in Google Photos, Google Drive. Okay, I want to fetch how many images are there which are consuming more amount of memory. Let's say 1 GB. Okay, it will go and fetch those results and give it back to you, and then you can simply delete that. Right? That's the power of MCP. You can. So if I talk about GitHub, I will say, hey, can you show me which are the GitHub repositories which are private? It will go and fetch those results. Now, if I talk about Gmail, can you show me who sent me email? Okay, this kind of stuff. Like for example, if I connected to my Kubernetes cluster, if I say, let's say, can you show me which are the pods which are there in the crash loop backup state? It will go and fetch those results. Again, for cloud, can you show me which are the buckets which are private or public? It's just one a kind of protocol, and it's integrated with your local machine, and it will perform the task for you. Okay. So what makes it different? So basically, these are the three categories. For example, this is your IDE cloud. I think you have heard about cloud. Someone in the chat replied that yeah, they are using cloud. Okay, cloud is an AI IDE nowadays. You can integrate and can chat with cloud. Okay, and then we have multiple things as well, like cloud code, goose, VS code. This is also, MCP is divided into three parts. First thing is MCP host. No one tells you about this. Okay, this is very internal information. Like, MCP is divided into three parts: MCP server, where your code, you as a developer writes code and integrate that. MCP client is something which is again into interact with your server, and MCP host is nothing but your IDEs. Okay, these are the three things, like PostgreSQL, G Drive. These are the common systems that is connected to your MCP protocol, It will give you a bidirectional flow. Okay. Now coming to the ADK and MCP, how how we can integrate ADK and MCP both to solve real world problems. Okay. So as a developer, you are here. Okay. You have created your AI agent. So this is the new thing which is introduced by Google called MCP Toolbox for databases. Okay. What it says that whatever the database you have in the world, okay, let's say MySQL, Postgres, SQLite, AlloyDB, BigQuery, Bigtable, Cloud SQL, Spanner, MongoDB, dgraph, anything. It says that bring your database, bring your string, and what I can do, I will be having one YAML file, okay, tools.yaml. You can define all those strings and connection strings of your database, and as an MCP toolbox for database, I will give your instruction back to ADK so that let's say I say that, hey, can you please add these particular items to my cart? Now I have entered the prompt here, right? My prompt will go to MCP toolbox for databases. It will search for a database called MongoDB. As soon as it searches, it will give me back results using prompts. Okay, just like a bidirectional flow. आपने prompt दिया यहाँ पे, then it will go to this. It will go to MongoDB, fetch those results, and then give it back to you. Okay, so this is how the things behave in the background, because this is a wrapper for your databases, which is created by Google, and you just need your database string, your database user, your database password, and you have to embed that database password or user inside a YAML file, and then you can do the stuff. Okay. As of demo, what I will be demonstrating today is we'll be creating an AI agent that will be a grocery agent. Okay. Then we can interact with it. We'll see that. It will be very interesting. So what are we building today? Okay. We'll be building a grocery agent using Google's ADK and MongoDB using vector search. So if you don't know what a vector search is, so for example, if I say to my agent, hey agent, can you, my mood is like I want some sweet. Okay. How agent will know that what is the sweet in its database? Okay, using vector search. So vector, I think in college you have such vectors, right? Sine theta, cos theta, and all those stuff. Okay. So whenever you enter a prompt, now computer works on the ASCII basis. The agents also works on numbers. Okay. So it will have, let's say if my data set have lots of information, how it will know dosa is bitter or dosa is let's say sweet. Okay, using vectors. Okay, so it will first convert my text into numbers, and which if the vectors are very closest to the numbers. Okay, for example, let's say cakes and breads are very similar, like breads and let's say eggs. Let's say breads are, let's say, cakes which are like sweeter in the taste. It will be it will match those particular things, and it will give you the results. If I say salt, it will be a different vector. Okay, and it will combine all those vectors which are very having a similar meaning. This something called semantic search. You just Google it. Okay, you will be coming to know that, yeah, what I mean from vector search, what is semantic search. Okay, this kind, because this is very advanced concept. Just to demonstrate you, because on the very high level, I will show you that. Okay, so this ADK and the database that we are building will be showing a magic. Okay, not a magic, but yeah, I mean, it will be fun. Okay. So coming to the LLM models, we have many models. This is the very latest data graph from official website. Okay. First thing is Gemini Ultra. This is the most capable model designed for highly complex tasks. Okay. Coming to the Pro model, the name itself, it says that it is very versatile model that performs well across wide range of tasks, including if you have any reasoning kind of stuff, like you go to ChatGPT and say deep research, right? It uses some pro kind of models to do the deep research and on the large data sets, because it has to reason, right, something. Then we have Gemini Nano, built for on devices task, meaning it to run directly on the mobile devices. Okay, just like Nano Banana that you are using. Then we have again this particular thing, 2.5 Pro, Flash and Flashlight. Pro, the name itself suggests complex for long context window. Flash is a lightweight, fast, effective. Okay. Then we have 2.5 Flashlight, the fast and most cost-effective model. This is a cheaper model for high throughput tasks. Okay. So what will be the objective of our agent? So it will understand and execute natural tasks such as add eggs, milk, and flour to my cart. Okay. I want to bake a cake. So to build a cake, what are the things it requires? Okay. Let's say add my usual weekly grocery to the cart. How much did I spend on the eggs last month? Okay, these are the natural language that we will be finding. Okay, but I like biryani, so we'll take an example of Hyderabadi biryani. Okay, what it takes, what are the ingredients it takes to build a Hyderabadi biryani, for example. Yeah. So yeah. So what is a vector search? As I previously explained, vector search is a technique that represent text, images, or other data as numerical vectors, enabling AI system to find semantic matches, not just the exact keyword matches. Because I will say, let's say I want to create a cake, for example. So I'm not giving the exact word that is cake. My cake has the sentence attached to it, right? So it breaks down my words and then it converts through a vector, and then vectors, it is in the 0 point fashion list format. So like for example, if I say I want to add pain reliever, so it will search for paracetamol. Okay, this kind of thinking is performed by a agent LLMs. Okay, thinking and reasoning agent. So basically these are the things. So why to use vector search with MongoDB? So MongoDB provides a good thing called vector search databases. Okay, so you can create your indexing keywords and then fast similarity search using cosine dot product or gradient. You just search on after this session. Okay, why what are the use cases of it? It used for AI shopping assistant, recommendation engine, and then you can ask anything to it. Okay. So yeah, this is the ADK file hierarchy that we'll be building. First thing is we'll be having the AI agent, that is ADK agent. We'll be needing just three files to create an AI agent. Okay, init.py, .env, agent.py in which our main code lies, requirement.txt. Here what it has all your dependencies and I mean whatever you want to install. Okay, and init.py it will have your module. Okay, this is the agent for. So first thing is we'll from dot means from everything we will import an agent. Okay, this is a simple thing. Okay, then we have agent.py in which we will be adding from google.adk agents import agent. Okay, and this is the root agent. So in the previous slide I have explained the base agent. We will be having a root agent and we have three things. Model, कौन सा model use करेंगे? We will be using Gemini 2.0 Flash. Okay, we can name as a root agent, and then description. I'm what the agent will exactly do. Okay, I'm a helpful assistant. I will be answering your questions. Okay, and then we do have a .env file. Whether you want to use Google API key or Google Vertex AI. So uh, anyone have used Google AI Studio here? Anyone has heard about it? Just want to check on the chat. Just reply. You can reply in yes or no. That will be fine. Okay, perfect. Mohammed, good. I think Dakshina has also heard about it. Okay. So Google AI Studio gives you a API key that you can embed to your code, and then you can authenticate to Google Cloud. Okay. And if you don't want to use API key, you can use Vertex AI agent. Okay. What it is? It is kind of SaaS or something. You don't have to add your API key. You just Vertex AI is a powerful thing that is used for dealing with AI agents deployment. Okay. If I come to requirement.txt, you have libraries, packages you can add here. Okay. As of now, if you want to create an AI agent for Google ADK, just add Google ADK as well. And if you because I have just added Google's cloud storage because I was creating an AI agent that will list my bucket, create a bucket on GCP. Okay. Just join the POC. तो ठीक है चलो शुरू करते हैं we'll let's go to demo now. Okay, so yeah, what we are creating it today. Okay, so actually I have created so let me know if my screen is visible to you. VS code. Okay, is it visible? Okay, perfect. Onkar says yes. Mika says yes, sir. Fine. You call me sir. Sanket will be fine. Okay. So if you can see, this is the folder. Okay. MongoDB grocery agent. What it has? It has three files. Okay. Init.py. So from dot import agent. Okay. Simple. Okay. This will be a common file. If you are creating an AI agent, this will be a common file you will be using. Okay. .env. I have this particular thing. See, I have created a key using AI Studio. how you can, so basically to my laptop should connect to Google Cloud by somehow, right? How it will connect through a API key. How I create API key? I will go to, let's say, AI Studio. Let's say AI Studio. Okay. Dot, Google AI Studio. AI Studio or Google.com. So this is my AI Studio. Okay. If you want to create an API key, click on Create API key. Okay. Name your key as, let's say, anything. Let's say Saturday event. Saturday GDG event. Okay. GDG AI agent event. Okay. Okay. Click on the project. Okay. Now you have two options. First thing is, if you have already selected a project, you can select MCP project. Or if you don't, because this AI Studio should know, right, from where I should pick up your project. So if you click on import project, it will list how many projects I do have. I have many GCP projects. If I want to give the context to it, I will click on this. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I will click on import. Okay, as soon as I create import, it will, whatever the GCP project I do have, it will list here. Okay, I will click MCP GCP project, and I will click on create key. Okay, as soon as it is done, in fraction of seconds, it will create an API key. Okay, you can see there are many API key available. Okay, so we have this, and if you copy this, this will be the API key of yours. It will be looking like this. Okay, so this is a very basic example how you can interact with Google AI Studio. You just click on create key, and you are ready to create your AI agent. Okay, after creating this key, you just add your key here. Okay, Google Gen AI Vertex AI to false, because either you can use it Google API key, either you can use Vertex AI. Okay, if you do it true, make sure it is commented. Okay, just comment it this way if you want to use Vertex AI. If you want to use Vertex AI, then do it true. Okay, if you don't want to use it, just do it false. Okay, and then just if you want to use Google AI Studio, then just add it. Okay, now if you are using GCP, my computer should know where is my GCP project, what is the GCP project name, what is the location of it, and let's say collection name and the connection string. So what is this? What is this connection string? This connection string is for database, because I want to connect to MongoDB, right? So I need to create a database first, and this is the username of my database. This is the password of it. Okay, and this is the string of it, and it has some kind of numbers. Okay, so how you create a database? If you go to, I have a MongoDB clusters. How many of you have heard about MongoDB Atlas here? Anyone in the team? To go to, what is that? Uh, Rex or something? I know where it goes. That's perfectly fine if you haven't heard of it. So, I mean, if you want, let's say, to connect to a MongoDB Atlas, so MongoDB Atlas is a database which is, very popular for cloud kind of thing. So, if you want any string which is hosted on cloud, you just clear on clusters. This is the cluster, okay? So, if you go inside this you can see this is the free clusters, and this is the region it is hosted on. How we can connect to that? Okay, if you click on connect, you go to drivers. Okay, this is the string. See, this is the username and password is hidden. Okay, just copy this, and you can add this particular string to your code. What it has, this cluster has some kind of database. Okay, so I will show you. If you go to collections, okay, let me go back. If you go to clusters, you have something called browse collections. Okay, so yeah. So if you see, first thing is it will be connecting to your database, connecting to M0. M0 is my free tier database I have used. It has something called grocery store. Okay, so grocery store will be having the information about carts, inventories. Okay, right now I do have 4 entries. Okay, this is the databases. Okay, this is the database entry. Okay, I will show you the demo. Okay, don't worry. So just think this is the database, no SQL kind of database. Okay, in which the values are stored not in row and column format, but in the like key and values format. Okay, You can see this is the key and this is the value. This is kind of documented, this been stored. Okay. We have, so let's say if I say please add this product to my carts. So first thing is it will grab the username who added my products to cart. Okay. Let's say if you go to Flipkart, you order something, right? You just say add to my cart. So as soon as you do add to my cart, your username gets fetched to a database. Okay. What product, like you want biryani, for example. So you'll be adding basmati rice, for example. Okay. And then it will be falling in the category of food grains, oil, and masala. Okay. Then you will be adding mixed vegetables as well. So it will be falling in this particular category. Okay. So this is how the data gets stored whenever you in the background. Okay. So how it gets stored using vector search. So if you go to this, there's a particular thing called vector search. Okay. And we have this particular inventory. Okay, we have to we have to load the data first, right? So we have some collections. Okay, and so in the collections you can see how much data, what data exactly it is present inside that. Okay, so this is how the system behaves in the background. So if you see, we have particular databases, grocery agent, we have local. This is how the all your data gets stored inside it. Okay, this is how a database looks like. Okay, if I go back to my ADK, I think you have understood this file. You have understood this very simple file. Now let's jump to the core logic. Okay, this is very much important. Okay, so yeah, so let me show you on the first line of code what exactly it is written. Okay, the first thing is you have to import agent from adk.agent. This is very first step. Okay, then you are using Google's Gen AI, so you have to import types. Okay, now I'm using MCP toolbox for databases. This is again a third, another kind of Google's product. Okay, that is a wrapper of all your database things. Okay, and now you are using Gen AI from Google, so you have to import this as well. As we are using OS, we have to import OS. Now, as we have created Google API key, we have to add the API key, not hard coded, but an environment variable. Okay. And then we have GenAI.client and then toolbox client. Okay. And because we are dealing on my local machine, so I'll be adding 127.0.0, right? Colon 5000. Okay. Now the main part, a function. What is an AI agent? An AI agent is nothing but a function which executes in the background, and your functions have a code inside that get executed. Okay, so we have two functions. First thing is generate embedding. What is the meaning of this particular thing called generate embedding? Whenever your AI agent receive a text, it has to convert to the numbers. Okay, so how it will do convert to a number using this particular function? I'm using a model called Gemini embedding 0.001. What it will do? So, for example, let's say it receive a query called organic apples. It will return a list of floats representing that vector, because this apple and oranges, whatever it is, right? It has to think which is the sweetest, which is the bitter, which is the sourest, right? How it will think? What is the output of it? The output of it will be looking like this. Okay, so this is all in the number. That's how AI agent language is. It understand. Let's say if these particular vectors are very close, that's it. If it will identify this as apple, this is oranges. Let's say if the particular thing is very sour, it will do it on the category of minus. I'm just giving an example, just assume example. It is not a correct example, but yeah, you can assume that if the vectors are very close, then it will rate at it is a sweet. If the vectors are very apart from each other, it will rate at sour. How the AI agent thinks in the background. This is very important. Okay, to understand how the things are working. Okay, so I'm using a Gemini embedding 0.001 model to basically generate this embedding content. Okay, now jumping to the main part, that is find similar product. I will say I want to let's say order dosa. Okay, what I will be having first thing is the garam podi powder. Then I will need a ghee, right, to create dosa. I will need batter of dosa. These are the three things it will list it down. And then we can say, as you have listed down these three things, I want to add these three things to my card so that I will be, getting the three things ordered to my home right away using, let's say, Blinkit or anything. And then I will prepare a dosa for me. Okay. So this is how the things work in the background, and I will be giving a prompt like, see, this is very important. You have to tell AI agent what exactly it has to do. For example, you want to say you are an online grocery agent, a friendly, helpful virtual assistant for your e-commerce grocery store. Okay, and then start every conversation with a warm greeting. Okay, let's say if I do hi, it should reply hello. Okay, introduce himself as an AI agent. He needs to introduce that, hey, how I can help you. He should say, hey, I am an online grocery agent, how I should help you, and ask how I can assist the user today. You are the user, you are telling a agent how you should behave whenever someone says, okay, what you can do: help users discover and explore the product in your store, suggest alternatives when the exact item is not available, add product to your user shopping cart, answer product related queries, and then return the total. Let's say if I ordered 5 basmati rices products, right, it should say this is your cost, which is this is the total of the cost that you have added, should we check it out or not. Okay, this is the kind of, and these are the available tools. Available tools are nothing but the functions. Similar products will search for the products with name specialty of user request, and then add to cart, calculate cart total, this kind of stuff. And guidelines also we can follow, like always search first. If someone that say directly, hey, can you please add to my cart, so it should return what product you have to find it out. So these are the guardrails or guidelines it should follow. Okay, and then at the end we have this root agent, that is model it should use, name of the agent, and then instructions, prompt, and tool sets. Tools are nothing but your functions. Okay, we are naming the name of grocery shopping agent. This is all about the code. Okay, now let's run it. How to create an AI agent first. So first thing is, if let's say if I open a terminal. Okay, let's say first I will explain you. Okay, so let's go back. So I am using MCP toolbox for databases. So I have already executed this command called slash toolbox hyphen hyphen tools find tools dot yaml. Okay, what it says, I will initialize one resource called MongoDB groceries. Okay, I have 3 tools. What I will do: add to cart, calculate the total, and find the similar document. This is his task, and it has launched the server, and it is listening on 127.0.1, which is my localhost, on 5000 port. Okay, this is using, and this is the logs of it. Okay, now first thing is I need to start a server of my database. Once it is started, my ADK, how I told ADK to interact with it, using this particular thing, right? How my ADK knows where he need to go, using this toolbox client. Okay, now, and also I have the strings as well in the env, so it is well enough to pick those changes, because connection string, it is present here. Okay, if I search for this, not here, but I mean whatever the connection string would be, it will be fetching from toolbox string client. Okay, and then we do have this tools.yaml that I was displaying, because MCP toolbox is like, it will define the source, which database we have to use, like MongoDB. We will define the string to it. Okay, and then we can add tools like add to cart, calculate cart total, and find similar documents. Okay, these are our functions. This is how we define it, and these are the syntax of it. Okay, grocery store and all. So this is how, you do the stuff like username, password, and all. Okay, so if I talk about running this code now, so I have something called let's say ADK web dot. Okay, I will just do it. So ADK is the command which is used to run the AI agent. So I will just do, let's say, ADK run dot. Okay, what exactly it will do? It will run the AI agent on my machine. Okay, so let's say because see what because you can't run ADK web dot anywhere you want. You have to run ADK web run dot inside this particular code. Now where are we? See, where are we? We are inside this particular thing where we need to go whether the agent.py is located. We will do ls. We'll go inside this folder, which is the folder MongoDB grocery agent. Okay, we'll go to this MongoDB grocery agent. We will do ls. Okay, we have to run this command from where your agent.py is located. Okay, so just do once again adk run dot, we will not be getting this particular output that we got. Okay, yeah, so it says that something fishy is going on, which is fine. Failed to load MongoDB module, no module link toolbox. Okay, it says that toolbox is not getting loaded. So let's do control C and then let's load the toolbox again. Okay, so load the toolbox, we have to create this command called /toolbox -- tool file and then tools.yaml, from where it will run this, where the toolbox will get located. Okay, now it is saying server ready to serve. Okay, now we'll go to this, we'll click on this particular thing and then we will do again adk run dot. Let's see if it works now. Again it says it fails, but let's do one thing, we will save this. Okay, we'll deactivate this particular terminal because sometimes memory and cache gets stored. Okay, now I will just keep all those terminals which are created. I will just kill all of them. Okay, now let's say if I do, now I'm in the fresh terminal. Okay, now my source is also activate and I will just do control R / stop YAML. Okay. Now what I will do again, I will directly set those environments variable. Okay. So either you can do this particular step like exporting your environment variables, okay, or either you can do a source dot, that will be also fine. Okay, just for demonstration purpose I'm showing that you can do this manual methods. Okay. I mean, and then you can see using env command that yeah, my AI, I mean what are the environments variable are getting stored. Okay. Okay, so this is how we have started the machine. Let's do ADK web dot. Okay, so just see this. It says that server is started. Okay, this is how the ADK web dot looks like. It says that server started on the process. So whatever you see, whatever the Linux operating system works on the process. Okay, waiting for application startup. Okay, your ADK web server started. For local testing, you can access this particular thing on 8000 port. Okay, if I go to this port, okay, sometimes it says that it fails to load the agent or something. Okay, let's go back. Are we on the same folder? Let's see that. Where are we? ODB. This is a very common, issue, which is getting just because of some environment variables. Okay, if you set it correctly, because I'm working mostly on this particular stuff, so there are many AI agents in my machine, so might be some caching issues. Okay, we'll do it again just to see that. Run dot. It's just about the context with it. So if I show you how the things work, let me show that. So you can see this .env is set correctly now. Okay. install. Okay, no issues. I mean, we'll show you the viewer how it looks like. So if you see this is the web UI how it looks like. Okay, so you have this MongoDB grocery agent. Okay, now you can ask the questions here, like for example, because this is now not running, so obviously it will not be giving the responses. Okay, so let me close this, but no issues. I will show you afterwards. Okay, so if you do hi, it will give a response like hi, I am a grocery agent or something. You have to do it. Okay, and then let me close and let's me try to troubleshoot again. Let's do that. Okay, I have also written a blog on that. I'll quickly do that stuff. Kill all the terminals. This is fine. We will remove the cache. Yes. So I'm using an environment called .env, that is virtual environment of Python, because my thing is, installed on my local machine. I'm using a environment. So, this is very important. So basically, whenever you're dealing with any stuff which is online available, so I will recommend to use VNV, not your VS Code, okay? Because you can avoid this kind of failures if you use that. Okay, so let me install this Google ADK. This particular thing. Let's go install Google ADK. Install this particular stuff for me. Okay, it's downloading. So first thing is you need to download a Google ADK version. Okay, you can see all those packages are getting installed now because I'm starting from scratch. Suppose you don't have anything on your machine, and first thing is you need to install this particular agent. Okay, to install that agent you need ADK on your machine. Okay, now you have ADK -hyphen help. Okay, you can create your, it will demonstrate what are the things you need to work on. Okay, you can see this is the commands, like for example, if it starts the API server, it creates a new app in the correct folder. Okay, deploy the agents and then it will run the AI agent. Okay, and then it has a UI as well to see how you can interact with your AI agent. Okay, now as this is done, we will also parallelly include a terminal. Okay, this is this one. Okay, now as we have .env machine, we are in this particular code. Let's do control R /toolset. Okay. First thing is we'll load the database. Okay, this is done. Now the next step would be like importing this manually. Okay, so let's see if we have anything like something, because if I do .env, we don't see this particular things are getting added, right? So if you see on the last side, like last time I have did, that virtual environment is deleted using deactivate command. Okay, just to demonstrate this kind how you can deal with this kind of issues. So if you do export now, export. So if you do env again, this is added somewhere. Okay, just do a grep and just type Google. Okay, if I do env, you can see this is also there. Okay, so slowly, as soon as we add this kind of stuff, right, it will be keep on adding to the env list. Okay, again the same thing we will do using export. Okay, database name, collection name, and then the final is string. Okay. Now we have complete environment variable. We will just see once again what it has. We have the name Google with 4 names, and if we don't go back, we will have all things like collection name, DD, and all the stuff. Fine. Just still playing, that's fine, perfectly fine. Where we are running that. Let's create a new API. Okay. I've created that my API into this. Let me delete this key. Okay. I'm deleting my API key. I'm creating a new API key. And delete this as well. Okay. Let's create an API key. We'll name this API key as, let's say, ADK API key. Okay. We'll select a project for MCP project because we're working on this now. It's created. This was our key. This is our ADK API key. Copy this. We'll paste it here. Okay. Grab this ID. Do export. CVNV. This matches. This matches. Let's do again. Says this module processing module, no module name. Okay, fine, perfectly fine. So let's do one thing. Now as we are here, let's go back. Let's load our tool. That is, this is our tool, which is our MCP tool for databases, right? We'll do this. Okay. It says that binary is all already available. So I think already one thing is running, right? So let's close this. Yes. We have EMP. We don't have here. We load it here. Dot slash databases. It's ready to serve the traffic. Now we have executed this inside this particular step. Now I will integrate it into a new terminal. Okay. Let's see if this do have all the credentials. Yeah. If you see carefully, it doesn't have all those credentials, right? Because this server was having those credentials. So remember, this is causing the issue. What was the issue? Our terminal and that terminal doesn't have the same thing. Okay. So what we have to do now? Either you can use this to a split terminal kind of thing, or let's say new terminal. Okay. Let's see if it populates that. If it doesn't, then we have to import this again. Okay. So why I'm doing this? So this terminal credentials and this terminal credential should be on the same page. That's why our things were not working. Because these things are very hard to see. We don't have to panic in those cases where the things are not working. Okay? We have to understand the root cause first, and then we have to work on some solution to get these things working. Okay? So we saw that what was the issue? Issue was our context was not the same. Okay? We have to manually type these commands every now and then, okay, to do this stuff. Okay, so to avoid this, we can create a shell script that will load the data from the source. Okay? That's the best solution we can do. If we do .env, we can see all those data is loaded now. Okay, now let's do adk run.now. It says that it is not loaded. this. No worries, I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's not getting loaded some issues. Okay. But I will show you how the things works. Okay. There's my presentations. So you can see the screen, right? Okay. I've just took the screenshots because somehow this solution is not working right now. So this is the web UI. Whenever you do a ADK web dot, right, you can get this particular UI, and then you can type hi here. It will display you this kind of stuff. So like for example, let's say if you want to add Nizami biryani, okay, so it will add and call this particular function, that is add to cart, okay, and this particular things will get behave, and then this particular function will get called, okay. So let's say if I type in Hindi, let's say "मुझे biryani बनानी है," so it will analyze this, translate your language to English, and then it will fetch those results. Okay, it has fetched this kind of results. What are the ingredients which is needed to create this particular stuff? Okay, and if I say if you have to add this particular biryani to the cafe from my cafe Joni Ali, so it will add and call the function in the background. Okay, this is how ADK works in the background. Whenever you add the prompts, it will go and call the functions. Okay, and this is the response. If you check the logs, what's happening behind the scenes, so basically you can see 200 responses. This particular database is getting called, so this is the string, and this is the final document, and then this other stuff which is getting called. Okay, so if you see this UI, I think I have already shown you, right, this one. So whenever you do a add to cart to this, it will add your entries to your cart. Okay, so yeah, this is the short kind of thing I need to explain you guys. Okay. So you can just try. I mean, I will be sharing you this particular blog link. It's not 100% ready as of now because it's still in draft phase, but I will be launching it next week. That is step by step building an intelligent data agent using ADK MCP toolbox for MongoDB. Okay. So I'll be sharing this particular link with you, and then you can follow this step to create your own AI agent. Okay. Yeah, somehow I mean this particular solution is running into a problem right now, but we will figure it out, I mean, whenever the time permits. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can just ask. It's so the UI that I'm not able to show you because there are some cache issues in my machines. I need to sort it out. And yeah, I mean, this was all about demo. Okay, I've shown you how the console looks like because I've already took the screenshots of the same. This is how the ADK looks like whenever you do a prompt kind of thing. This is how you deal with it, and this will be your end output, how it looks like. Okay, so yeah, with that we can conclude this session. If anyone has any questions, let me know. We'll stop sharing. I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for taking such a wonderful and insightful session for us. It was
No
truly
worries.
knowledgeable and inspiring. We would be delighted to host you for an offline session at our college soon as well. Looking forward to
Sure.
learn more from you, sir. Thank you.
I think there's a question. So, Dakshina Murthy, right? How do we secure the agent to prevent the loss of your P2I, in this case, to order something? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great question. So, you have to add some guardrails to that. Okay. So, let's say if you don't want any agent to automatically do the task, right? So, you have to add an approval. So, there's a protocol, like there's a newly launched protocol called A2P. You can explore that. Okay. It will take care of that. Okay. I mean, it will secure your agent. You can just add some guardrails, and you can also give enough permission. You have to give some specific permission. You don't have to, create all those permissions here. Okay, so I mean, you can do that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, and if you have any questions, let me see. I think Muruju, what hands-on exercises or projects would you recommend to get practical experiences with ADK and MCP? So yeah, so the first thing is you just do ADK, create your agent. Okay, just see how you can create your own agent first. Okay, then I will recommend to create any agent that you find it useful. Okay, so from this particular thing, like for example, a weather commute agent would be a best fit. Or let's say I want to integrate ADK with Google Cloud. I want to fetch the recent clusters. I want to fetch Google Cloud products. Okay, I want to interact with databases. I want to interact with my any Google products. So you can integrate that in your code, and then you can see. And using MCP, you can just try integrating GitHub servers. You can use Gemini CLI, that is a Google product. Okay, so you can just see that. I mean, yeah. And let me check if there are more questions. I think Shani, you have questions. Raise the hands. Any more questions before we wind up? How is the landscape of AI agent developing, evolving, and what are the future capabilities can we expect from technologies like ADK and MCP? Okay, Muruju. So basically, yeah, I we know that AI is actually evolving every day. So you can see every new tool which is launched every day. Like for example, now Gemini CLI is trending. So you can enter prompts from that Gemini CLI to do the real world task. So what I will suggest, build a custom MCP server. I will just share you one blog that I have written recently. Okay, so it says that you have to create your, if you want to create your own MCP server from scratch, like a remote MCP server. Okay, you can do that with the help of, and you can host that anywhere you want. Okay, I will share you that particular blog link right now. Okay, uh, yeah, let me share you that. Okay. So this is the blog link which says that how you can create your MCP server from scratch. Okay, what you need a code. Okay, I mean you should know the any languages like Python, Java. Okay, and if you build that code, you can write the code, containerize it using Docker or let's Kubernetes. If you don't know how to containerize the code, that is perfectly fine. You can deploy your code to Cloud Run using any endpoint. Okay, and yeah, I mean you can use fast MCP server as well. Okay, that is very dynamic nowadays. And then after you have built it, host it somewhere, and then you can use your ID called VS Code Cloud or any ID, and then you can do that POC kind of thing. There is one more thing called Gemini CLI extension. Just explore this as well. So I mean many companies are launching their own MCP server and pushing it into Gemini CLI extensions. Okay, okay, just see how you can integrate with it. Okay, and then call that Gemini CLI extension. Okay, and yeah, and if yeah, that would be fine. And because ADK is just a framework that will expose your tools, create your tools, and give you a wonderful API, let's say web UI, and on top of it you can do experiments kind of thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, above the okay. Yes, you answered to the last question. Gemini MCP thought to ask in what industry ADK MCP powered agents already being deployed successfully. That's great. So in let's say in any organization you go, you will be finding their MCP servers. So what you have to as a developer you have to create MCP code. Okay, so you have to as an AI engineer or as a software engineer. Earlier days, you need to write a code to build applications. Now you need to write a code to build your MCP server, for example. You should know how to expose the APIs using Fast API or any of the APIs. Okay, first thing will be writing the code choosing any language. You're choosing any of the framework that is Fast MCP, for example. Once you know this, integrate your code, test it on your local machine. Okay, and yeah, and then deploy it remotely, and after you deployed your MCP server remotely, you have to call that MCP server from your IDE. Okay, and yeah, this is the MCP kind of stuff you can do. ADK, yes, ADK is very new. This year they have launched. Google has launched ADK this year only, right? So there are many use cases like the protocol that is ADK plus A2A. These are used to create multi-agents kind of thing. Okay, let's say one agent to call to another agent, then you need A2A plus ADK to deal with such kind of scenario. So ADK won't help in this particular case because it deals with single agent. But what if you want to integrate with multiple agents, right? So we have something called ADK plus A2A. Okay, it is a dead combo. You can see. So ADK plus A2A is a best thing you can do, and we have Copilot in our organization, where you will be entering the prompts and then you will be getting responses on top of it. Okay, so yeah, this is the stuff that I have explained. Yep. Okay. So yep, if you have more questions, I'm very happy to answer, or else you can connect on LinkedIn as well. You can just ping me there. I will happy to answer all those questions. Okay. Just follow this blog I have pasted on the machine, where you can interact with. You can create your own MCP server from scratch. Okay. If you have Google Cloud account or anything, you can just add it. Okay, then I mean we are good. Okay, I think I can question. As you mentioned, agent in our talk, what are the limitation or risk when scaling agents to enterprise level tasks? Sir? Thank you. Okay, perfect. That's a great question. So limitations, like first thing is the context. Okay, you have to write your agents in such a way that they should understand the user prompts. Okay, as if you work in any organization like bank, retail, or anything. Okay, you have to give minimum permissions to it. So if you talk about risks, this is the risk. So, and again the hallucination. So I mean, see, you have to write a code on the proprietary level, like a private agent code. You don't have to call any public APIs or any deal with such kind of stuff. You have to build a very secure agent that will, let's say I'll be creating three functions, that the task of that function is to do that, let's say any kind of let's say adding to a card, any kind of stuff. So first we need to write a code to tell the agent that it has to do something, guardrails, right? I've explained guardrails in my sessions. You have to tell session, yeah, this is your task, this your task is limited to this task only, you don't have to do that task. Okay, the guardrails are very important. Another thing is permissions. So there are many permissions. Let's say if you are creating a cloud agent, okay, you don't have to give admin permission to it. You can just restrict. You can just add granular permission to it. Let's say if your task is to, let's say, only list bucket, you won't be giving admin permission to it. Admin permission has everything, like listing, creating, deleting, updating, everything. You So if you give this, you are risking your AI agent, right? You just have to give storage dot object dot list. That's it. Okay, it will only list that object, not able to delete that. First thing is permission. Another is context. The third thing is hallucination. You have to deal with that. You have to test your agents in such scenarios. You have to handle edge cases as well. That's why I told you, you have to uh, work on something called evaluating the AI agent in such scenarios, whether my AI agent is to able to do this thing, that thing, or not. In this particular 3-5 steps, you can achieve this kind of things. Yeah. Hope that question, I mean, answer was useful to you. Yeah, I mean, we have running out of time now. I think, yeah, we can wind up the session. Thank you, Saurav, Adi Lakshmi, and I mean, whole team. Yeah, inviting me, and it was great. I think I think we can. Yeah,
Yeah, I would like to thank you once again, sir, for sharing your valuable insight with us today.
no worries, guys. Thank you so much. It was great having you. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Dear students, I'll be sharing. Kindly make sure to fill it before leaving this session.